Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen Podcasty video thinginess. Are you hyped for Star Marine? Today we're going to talk a little bit about the FPS module, the first person shooter module, for Star Citizen Alpha 1.2 when it's released, and what we can expect. So what is Star Marine? Star Marine is the FPS, the first-person shooter module for Star Citizen that will be released with the name Star Marine, in the same way the Dogfighting Module is called Arena Commander, and it will be accessible from your hangar in a similar way to Arena Commander. It's also part of the Star Citizen Alpha 1.2 patch that has currently been delayed. The initial release of the FPS module will only include multiplayer modes, so no single player with bots or Vandal Swarm versus waves of enemies in Star Marine. Not to start with anyway. More modes like these will be added, however, in time, as some of those features are crucial for Squadron 42 and bringing the persistent universe together. So why is it taking so long? Why has Star Marine been delayed? Well, that's because they're doing a lot of work on it. It's an integral part of Star Citizen. Obviously all the modules are, but this is one they need to get right straight from the start. It can be a beacon of concept and proof to a load of gamers if done correctly, or a point of controversy if done badly. It would seem they want to avoid as many bugs as possible and have polished a lot of features, codes, aspects of the game that much more than necessary in my opinion. The characters, animations, environments, matchmaking, audio, and even the back-end technology have all received a vast amount of work and extra polish, and you can expect to see a lot more than we've previously seen at PAX and other events. What I have noticed the most is the improvements to the lighting and the character movements and some of those animations. They are so much better. So it's been delayed because it isn't ready. It is as simple as that. Yes, I would like it now too, and I am annoyed that it's not ready after that they said it would probably be out by now, but it would be crap if it wasn't playable or I couldn't get into a game. So I'm happy them putting the extra bit of work in to make it ready for release. Enough of my ranting. What are we actually getting on release? We're getting 2 game modes on the initial release of Star Marine. Team Elimination, 8 vs 8 on a map called Gold Horizon, and Satterball, 16 vs 16 on the Astra Arena map. With the first iteration of the FPS module, there's going to be no mixed combat. By that I mean no spaceship combat combined with the FPS. So you're not going to be able to shoot people in your spaceships while they're running around on like a little space station. This, however, will be integrated in the future after multi-crew ships have come out with Star Citizen Alpha 2.0 in the future. One of the theorised modes for this will be Capture the Idris, where 2 teams would fight over an Idris frigate in space and in the first-person boarding kind of method to try and capture and fly an Idris away, or fight off a fleet or like reduce their tickets, whatever. We don't really know. It's only a theorised mode at the moment, but it sounds cool. So the Team Elimination Gold Horizon 8v8 will be a mixture of open areas and bottleneck combat on a space station. There's going to be a gravity generator in there as well that you can turn on and off if you can find the room. On release, we'll have a selection of armour, weapons and equipment for each team. And each of those teams are Marines and Outlaws. For each of them, there'll be light, medium and heavy armour, all with their own unique look and feel. Weapons-wise, we're going to have submachine guns, assault rifles, laser assault rifles, electric shotguns, sniper rifles, grenades, both EMP and frag, burst cannon. I don't even know what that is, but they said it was cool. The area of denial systems, so that's literally going to be going, you can't go over here because otherwise you're going to get like some sort of explosion in your face. They're going to be adding a modular attachment system for guns at a later date too, not on initial release. So that's going to be things like barrels, scopes and that kind of thing you can put onto your guns. So there's a fatigue, stamina, loadout and speed kind of system. The heavier your load, so the weapons, armour and equipment you have, the more affected you are by certain things. So you'll get out of breath more easily, you'll run out of stamina more easily. So breathing heavier or running out of breath will make your visor steam up, make it harder to fire your gun because it will be swinging from left or right. You'll be moving slower because your stamina is decreasing. So basically stamina will allow you to run, or the time it will take to pause to brace your weapon to come up, because there's going to be lots of different stances as well. And there's going to be loads of different ways your weapons move, fire, based on your loadout and fatigue. And as I said a minute ago, there will be multiple stances. So what do I mean by stance? It's basically how you hold your weapon, how you're running around. So with a lowered stance, for example, that would put your weapon down so you can run more easily, allowing you to move faster, see all the contextual navigation and HUD available to you, and if you were trying to fire from that stance, you'd have to fire from your hip, which would be inaccurate, or you'd have to bring your weapon up to your shoulder to aim, which would take a few milliseconds or whatever. It would take some time to do. So the next stance would be a ready stance. This is like the middle ground, bracing your weapon against your shoulder and aiming like you would in a standard FPS. You'd have much more limited contextual navigation, much more limited HUD, and you'd move slower than you would in lowered stance, but your weapon's all ready to fire, you've got a good aim, you're still moving at an okay speed. Then there'd be ADS, or aim down sights. This is the slowest movement you'd have. You'd probably be walking or fast walking, and you'd have the least amount of HUD or contextual info available, but would allow for the greatest degree of precision aiming. So stamina and fatigue and breathing will affect your stances too, and the way your weapons fire. And there's going to be even ways to manage your breathing, hold your breath for example, to improve your aim further. I really like these ideas, I think they're great. I don't know if they're going to work in the FPS, but they sound absolutely awesome if they do. So this is something I'm really interested about. The damage system will be dynamic and physics based, just like it is in Arena Commander, or will be in Arena Commander once it gets fully going. Materials, clothing, skin, obstacles, pretty much everything will have its own properties, as will the bullets and weapons that are firing. And these properties will all be affected with each other's properties when interacting with each other. It's great for a variety of different reasons. It will allow players to target weak points in armour, or say that you're wearing, for example, multi-layered armour, and you've got metal, and then cloth, and then your skin. A bullet or a laser will hit you, and it will be affected differently by first the metal plate, then the clothing, and then will finally deal damage to your skin. I really like this. Armour's going to get damaged, you're going to be able to target weak points in people's armour, you're going to be able to get people to specifically make damaged areas in armour for other players to target. It's going to add some play styles and loadouts and clever ways of thinking that haven't really been done in games before. So the team elimination, Gold Horizon, does allow you to customise your loadout and all that sort of things. You can choose your weapon you're going to have, you can choose how many weapons you've got, you can choose if you want the giant armour, the little armour, if you want to run around fast, whatever. Satterball's a bit different. So Satterball in the Astro Arena will be very free-form movement. You've got a grappling hook and a stun gun. You're trying to gain control of a ball that spawns in the middle of the arena, and then you're trying to get it into the enemy's goal to score a point. It's basically where their spawn point is their goal. It's a large open area with some obstacles scattered around in a zero-G environment. You're floating around, you're propelling yourselves through your arms, legs, firing your pistol, using your grappling hook. There's two teams of Marines basically pitting it against each other, and it's 16 v 16. I'm assuming that's a maximum number. You'll probably be able to play it 8 v 8 and 4 v 4 if you want to. It's very much like Ender's Game. You're floating in 0G, and everyone has the same gear loadout, unlike the Gold Horizon level. Shooting someone will temporarily stun them. Your goal is to score goals. If you have the ball, you can't fire your sidearm, but you can pass or drop the ball or shoot the ball for a goal. I am hoping soon that they do a speedball-like mini-game in the same style as Hyper Vanguard Force. That would be absolutely ace. So I've got a list of other informational nuggets. The FPS module will contain a lot of environmental interaction. Destroyable lights, gravity generators that can be turned on and off, doors can be opened and closed, traps can be set. One of the joys of the engine is that they've included physics and clever ragdoll systems and gravity. This will enable players to really think out of the box when they play. Less restrictions in playstyle equal more flavour in game. You're all going to have to deal with the face of the British guy that was scanned in. There's going to be no character customization on the first release of the FPS module. Yes, his face does look like mine, but it is not me, even though we are both British. There is more than one person that looks like me, apparently. The 1.2 release will come with a load of updated animations and model fidelity that will go into the Hangar and other modules too. They have said that the FPS module will be more demanding on your graphics card than Arena Commander was, though the 64-bit processors and some optimization should be done by then. I suppose we're going to have to wait and see. The new matchmaking system and servers will be going live with Star Citizen 1.2, and they're hoping it's all going to work well. That's why they need us alpha testers. We're going to be jumping in there and going, no, it doesn't work well, or yes, it does, or please fix. There will be alien and hybrid weapons in the future too, but not on launch. So will the delay of the FPS module delay other releases and other modules? Now, they've said that the delay of this module shouldn't impact the release of other modules much, but the nature of Alpha and the project that Star Citizen has become means that when it's done, it's done. There's no publishers or investors to force deadlines, and hopefully that's for our betterment. At the moment, it looks like we're probably going to have our hands on the FPS module in about 3 to 6 weeks. I'm pretty sure CIG would say something like, sooner than you'd expect, but not as soon as you want. So, do you need to purchase anything to play Star Marine when it's released? If you already have a game package with alpha access, no, you do not need to buy anything else. If not, you will require a game package and a Star Marine $5 module pass. There will be packages including Star Marine in the future without the need to purchase a separate pass too. Anyway guys, I hope that was informative. If you'd like to know more about the FPS module, please check out the description below. It contains all the links to all the source articles and videos that I've used to make this, as well as I'll try and check in any other information I can in there. I'd really like to know if you're looking forward to the FPS module, or if Star Citizen for you is all about spaceships or dogfights or whatever. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.